pumpkin compote in trozos, delicious and easy to make. To begin the recipe, I add 75 grams of quicklime for every kilo of pumpkin. This lime is the kind sold in construction supply stores, safe for culinary use. It helps create a special texture on the pumpkin skin. Here, I use 2 liters of water to dissolve the lime. I pour all the water into a large container. Remember, use 75 grams of lime for every kilo of pumpkin. I'm using 2.5 kilos of pumpkin cut into pieces. I place the pumpkin pieces into the lime solution. I add them little by little until they are completely submerged. It's quite a lot of pumpkin, but the lime will help preserve its texture. With all the pumpkin in the solution, I let it rest. This process is essential to form a protective layer on the pumpkin pieces. That layer will develop during cooking, giving firmness to the pieces. Now I let the pumpkin rest for about 1 hour. After this time, I stir the solution because the lime tends to settle at the bottom. I remove the pumpkin pieces and wash them thoroughly to eliminate any lime residue. Now, with a fork, I make small holes on the sides of each piece. This will help the pumpkin absorb the sugar and spices better during cooking. Next, I add 1.5 kilos of sugar over the pumpkin. I simply sprinkle the sugar evenly over the pieces. I also add 150 milliliters of water. There's no need to add more water since the pumpkin will release its own liquid. As it begins to boil, the pumpkin will release enough liquid to form the syrup. Now, I mix the pumpkin and sugar well to ensure everything is evenly distributed. I mix, and the sugar has already started dissolving, forming a liquid. I add cloves to taste for a special touch of flavor. I now cover the pot and let it cook on low heat for about 2 hours. Time has passed and the pumpkin is ready. I turn off the heat and carefully uncover the pot. The pumpkin pieces are well cooked and tender. Look at how our pumpkin compote turned out. I take a piece to show you how perfect it is. I remove it carefully to avoid breaking the pieces. Now, I place the pieces into jars for storage. I've already filled all the jars with the pumpkin pieces. Now, I strain the liquid from the pot to prepare the final syrup. I transfer the liquid to another pot and turn on the heat. I let it boil thoroughly to thicken and intensify the syrup's flavor. The syrup has boiled and is at the perfect consistency. I skim off the foam that formed on the surface with a spoon. After removing all the foam, with the syrup still hot, I pour it into the jars along with the pumpkin pieces. There's no issue with adding it hot. This helps preserve it better. I sealed all the jars tightly and they're ready. Look at how beautiful our pumpkin compote turned out. It's delicious and very easy to make. You'll love it!